Hi, it's Stewart, Fraser, PGA Professional at Sneinton Golf. Today we're here to review the Titleist TSi1 driver. Now 2020 saw the introduction of the TSi2 and TSi3 models, and recently Titleist have brought out the TSi1 and TSi4 models to run alongside that. The TSi1 looks very much like the TSi2 driver, however there are a few subtle differences. Here we're going to talk you through exactly what those are and what sort of golfer this driver will suit. So here I've got both TSi2 and TSi3 drivers in my hand, and I'm just going to compare the two because, as mentioned, there are a couple of really subtle differences between these two. So first, putting the golf club in behind the golf ball, the first thing I've noticed is that the driver head on the TSi2 is a deeper face than the TSi1. Now, at this point we have to mention what sort of golfer the one is aimed at. Now, it's very much aimed at the person that struggles to get the ball up in the air, doesn't generate a lot of club head speed at all. Everything about this driver is all about launching it high and hitting it as far as possible with slower club head speeds. So that shallower face is going to help you get that ball launched up in the air. They can put the centre of gravity a little bit further back and a little bit deeper. It's going to make it much easier to get the ball airborne. Secondly, the driver, the TSi1 driver shaft is longer. So I've got a 45.5 inch TSi2 here, and this TSi1 is another 1/4 inch longer, so exceptionally long for a standard driver nowadays. 45.75 inches is longer than what you would normally get with most other brands. Again, that's all about generating more club head speed. Longer the shaft, the longer the lever, hopefully the further you're going to hit that golf ball. The other really obvious thing is, immediately obvious, is the head weight. So we've got 176 gram head. Now, I know that the TSi2 is around 194, so they're saving about 22 grams in the head. Again, making it more lightweight means you can redistribute that weight that you've saved into putting it further back, making the ball launch higher, making it more forgiving, but also a lighter head in general will mean that you're going to be able to move the club head faster. People that can't swing the club that quick, they're going to be able to move a lighter club head much quicker than they will be able to do a heavier club head. And as mentioned, it is definitely noticeable the difference between these two in terms of weight. This is one of the lightest drivers I've felt. Now, they have put a new shaft in this driver as well, something that doesn't come in any of the other models, and it's the old dealer Ascent shaft. Now, they've used this because this shaft is much lighter. So again, a weight saving means you're going to be able to move that golf club much quicker through the air. This is the 40 gram shaft, but believe it or not, this goes down to 35 grams in some of the more flexible ones. So 35 gram shaft is super light. That combined with a 176 gram head means this is one of the lightest golf clubs on the market. So I'm expecting this to go nice and high, and should be able to move this nice and quick and generate lots of club head speed. So as I mentioned, with this head, it looks very similar to the TSi2. It's a very, very similar shape, apart from the slightly shallower face. The head still is deep, so it goes a long way back, so they managed to get that weight as far back as possible, increasing the MOI, heightening the launch angle. This driver still looks very stealthy. It's still a very, very similar aesthetic to all the other TSi range. So I like that. It's a really nice looking driver. It sits very square, which I also like. Just going to have a couple of shots with this and see what sort of results we get from the initial few shots with this driver. So immediately obvious is kind of what I expected, that really high launch, and that has really popped up in the air. So if you are the type of golfer that struggles to get driver airborne, and that golfer in particular probably hits 3-wood nearly as far as their driver because they don't get the correct launch conditions with the driver, then this is certainly one that's worth considering. Because it feels so light, it certainly is easy to move quickly through the air. I don't think there's going to be a golfer that's going to struggle to increase the club head speed with this driver because it's going to be lighter than what what you've currently got. It's probably lighter than anything on the market currently. So as mentioned, if you struggle to get it airborne, if you struggle to generate any speed, the TSi1 is actually a really nice introduction, and it's definitely worth having a go with. You should be able to get higher launch, more club head speed with this driver, and hopefully that will equate to distance. The other thing I mentioned was the length of the shaft. Now it does feel really long. It feels really, really long. I'm used to a 45-inch driver. 45.75 is much longer than any other standard brand. The one thing I worried about was whether or not I would hit the centre of the golf club as often because of the length of the shaft. But so far I've found the centre just as regularly as what I would do with a much shorter driver. So it seems manageable. It does feel long, but that hasn't created any issues for me yet in terms of consistency of strike. It still feels every bit as good as the TSi2 and TSi3 drivers that I've previously tried. I believe that's got to be because of a similar type of construction of the other drivers, but also it's still got that ATI 425 face, that super strong, really flexy face that makes the ball spring off and the ball go a long way. What Titleist have also managed to do with this driver, which is unique to them, is they've managed to get this driver sounding the same as the TSi2 and TSi3 driver. I don't think there's another company on the market currently that have managed to get all the drivers sounding acoustically the same off the face. There's always a bit of a difference. One sounds hollower than the other one, whereas this sounds every bit as solid and feels every bit as solid as the other models in their range, which I think is a nice little touch. There's no big loud noises off the club face, which personally I'm not a fan of anyway. It certainly feels very, very easy to hit, and the shots so far, the dispersion's been excellent. But we'll just take a quick look at some of the average numbers for the TSi1. Now, what I would expect is, as mentioned, the balls fly a little bit higher, club head speed should be high. For me, that might not equate to distance because the launch conditions for that driver may be incorrect. It may be too high, too spinny. And as predicted, this really is popping up a little bit for me in the air. So I mean, it's super high, mainly due to the shaft weight, the head weight, everything combined. So this is spinning just up above 3,085 average with the shots I've hit so far. And that is too much. My optimum's probably about 500 or 600 lower than that. But I am generating a lot of club head speed. What I've found with this driver is I'm typically generating a couple of miles an hour, 2 to 3 miles an hour more club head speed than I would conventionally, which is great. But for me, it doesn't equate to distance, and especially into this headwind we've got today, it's not giving me a ball flight that's got any penetration. But for the average golfer that really struggles to get the ball airborne, it's going to be absolutely perfect. So this driver is doing exactly what Titleist have designed it to do, which is hit high launch and generate a lot of club head speed, and it's perfect. It's aimed at, for that type of market, it's the perfect driver really. Another one straight out of the middle with the Titleist TSi1. It feels great, it looks great, it sounds fantastic, which I think they've done a real good job with the acoustics especially. But this is a super lightweight driver that is designed to pop it straight up in the air. It certainly is helping me generate an extra couple of miles of club head speed, and I think even more so with a golfer that struggles with club head speed in the first place. It's going to prove that it's going to basically help you get more ball speed and more yardage out of your tee shots. Anybody who struggles to hit the driver, this driver will be absolutely perfect for you. They do it in 9, 10 and 12 degree options as well. So that 12 degree super lightweight driver, if you've never had the confidence or never had the technique really to hit driver previously, it's definitely worth giving it a shot. Thanks for watching our review on the Titleist TSi1. I'll see you again soon with some more great reviews. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Give us a comment, see what you think of the TSi1 driver, whether you think it would benefit you and your golf swing. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.